Hi everyone, my name's Claire. We're going to channel a message for Monday the 8th of May 2023, but everything I do is timeless around here. Hello hashtag newbies, because there's a lot of yous. We actually only reached 500 just over 2 weeks ago, so the fact that we're nearly at, I don't focus on the numbers that other people do, like 500 and 1,000 and whatever. I'm excited to reach 555 because we are what I would consider in that 555 energy, because obviously the full moon there, not obviously, some people won't pay attention that much, but the full moon was on the 5th of the 5th, and the 2023 adds up to 555. So, you know what I mean? It's people call it 555 portal, whatever you want to call yours. But I can't help but notice, as much as going on about portals and that kind of makes me cringe, how much people jump on the bandwagon with that shit. I mean, again, and I always like, I'll fucking slag myself with that too. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't because I can't be arsed. Unless I get the green light with my guidance system going on to me about a portal, I'm not just going to do it because everyone else is doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, God. Hello. Hi there. Thanks. I didn't stop the video, did I? So we're going to keep that in it because it was an Amazon guy came to the door. Yeah, and you see that took me by surprise, doesn't he? Stop the video. So again, there might be something for you, whatever comes up in this about unexpected visitors. 144 of the twin flame variety, because 144 is that. Now, do you know what's really interesting me about that? I had to start this again, and I never ever again. If you're new, I never do that. I just, no matter how, like, again, I sometimes when I'm channeling, I float off and I forget what I'm about to say, but I always pull it back because like they're guiding me what to say. But yeah, I'll be honest, I just filmed one that was 7 minutes and I started again. And the reason I started again was because I just was going off too much, floating into my own stuff. But I know I do that all the time. Like, again, to get, if you're new, if you don't like that about me, you'll not like me, so you'll not hang around long. But it's like, with me being in Aries at the highest degrees, they do get me to talk about my own experience. I would say more than most. Like I said, I do channel very differently from most people, but again, everybody channels their own way, so whatever. But basically, no, it was just for my own, what I was comfortable with. It was just going a wee bit too much into, yeah, just too much into my own stuff. And for once, not actually, I'm not talking about like twin flame stuff, because I know when I do that, it's for others to learn as well. It's just, yeah, anyway, just trust me when I say that. It was just that I was like, nah, I'm not comfortable with that. So anyway, there might be something that goes a bit too, what am I trying to say? There might be something a bit vulnerable for you around the time you're watching this video, whether it be around the actual time and now, or when you watch this in the future. But there's something that's just like that. That's just too much for me. And again, people that know me well, you'll know that's like, right, it must be really raw stuff if I'm not willing to share, and it's just, and again, it is that sometimes I feel they test me with that to be like, look, um, you could share it, like, you're not gonna die, but it's up as your call. I'm laughing because I'm like, this is a weird energy. What the hell? Yeah, because it's not like, well, okay, I'll just go into roughly, generally, the context of what I'm talking about, right? I was just sort of sharing a little bit about, I don't like the month of May for many, many reasons, and that has been for a long time now. And no matter what, do I need to stop this again? Just give me a moment. By the way, I wasn't even as bad than the one before this. I just looked at 444, so that's my sign of the angels all around, and I have to keep going. Yeah, basically, what I'm trying to say is, sometimes we have times in our life that can have been a long, long time ago with anything that happens in your life, but when it comes around to certain times of the year or certain months or anniversaries, your trauma can come back, and it doesn't matter how much therapy you have, it doesn't matter how much healing you have, it doesn't matter how much shamanic healing, soul retrievals, all the stuff that I provide for others. It doesn't matter how much you have of that. Sometimes you just have to accept that you're always going to be a bit sad around certain times of year. But basically, what I went, oh, see, this is so annoying. I really don't want to talk about stuff like this. But basically, I think I have to keep going just to show people that happens to all of us. It really does happen to all of us. And it's your body stores the memories. It's trauma. And that's why some people really connect with like EFT, which I can provide for people. Again, I don't tend to do that in public. I tend to do the tapping personal sessions and stuff. If I'm ever guided to do that in public, I will. But it's just that it's there's certain things that we get led to do, and it's just not one of them that get led to do in public. But it's any kind of things. A bit like how I say I'm not one for holding my hands up at the screen sending you Reiki. There just isn't a need for me. I know that I can pray and just chat and channel and do the cards, and people feel the healing that are meant to. But yeah, some people really connect with that, or yoga, or something like whatever helps you release or what do you call it? There's the shamanic shaking and all that. There's loads and loads of things. So I don't know why I'm talking about these things, because I connect with some of them, but not all. Anyway, I got that out of my system, so let's keep going. Yeah, there is just something about overcoming obstacles. I feel, although, oh God, I feel I was really tapping into some folk that are in a dark place out there too. Do you know what I mean? Because that's basically what's important for people to understand. Wait, I'm going to light the sage. I didn't do that. We need to. Because actually, it's important for. Yeah, wait a minute before I keep talking. Because that was a bit. It was needed. I feel. But do you see how my energy is like that was needed? I'm just laughing at the one. The one before wasn't even that bad compared to me getting a bit upset there. But again, there's nothing. The candle just went out too. Right. When my candle goes out, it's I've got certain languages with them, so I'm just asking them what that's all about. This really is to reflect. I'm just laughing. If folk aren't used to my energy, they'll be like, what the fuck's going on here? See how that's not lighting? Let's try again. That's just not gonna look. Oh, it did. Wow, this is fascinating. What I was going to say there is, if someone's just used to tarot or whatever, which I never refer to myself as a tarot reader. I do read the tarot, but I read it in my own way, and I don't, you know what I mean? It's basically I'm a shaman because I do all these different things, and it's basically every single thing that happens that I do. Okay, I know. Sorry, I know the people that are. I'm like, look how much I'm saying sorry. That's annoying me. I'm observing myself. Again, there's somebody watching this. If this is going to be for you, that you apologise too much, you need to cut it out, right? Because I'm telling myself, stop saying sorry for that. It's all part of basically all this, what appears to be rambling, all this kind of energy. It's like someone's all over the fucking place, quite clearly, because that's how I'm coming across in this. And it's to do that full moon. And what I'm trying to say is, a Scorpio full moon is my least favourite. Scorpio's my favourite sign, ironically, but a Scorpio full moon is my least favourite because it can be really, really rough and where it hits my chart personally. But I was pleasantly surprised on the 5th by feeling really in my strength and my power. But what I will say though is I did have genuine, yourselves included. If you when I've said I'm praying for you, you can pray for me. So I really felt the genuine people in my life praying for me, and yeah, and it did good. That's why I always say prayer works. And I'll be interested if that card comes out. There's a card in one of my decks that says that. Yeah, that's why I pray every day. I pray for myself. I pray for you guys. I pray for everything. I don't just pray when things are bad. I pray when things are good as well. Pray every day. And yeah, I actually was really quite strong on this Scorpio full moon, which amazed me, because I've got loads of things that I could have sank quite low about, like both present and past, and I didn't. So overcoming obstacles. Looks like it's time to get into the cards. You can overcome anything. So I hope that you're very much in that Phoenix rising energy as well, of the Scorpio full moon. And it is Sagittarius moon now too. So I'm kind of laughing that I got upset, because it's Sag moon's very optimistic, playful, fun, joking and laughing. That's why I'm usually joking and laughing and everything. It's a very different energy from the Scorpio energy, but those that know me well, I've got both. I've got Pluto conjunct Scorpio rising, so I'm not afraid to go into the deep depth of anything really, the darkness or my own darkness, which is shadow work, or to help you accept your own darkness or your own pain, whatever it is. But it is nice to have a bit of the lightness and the humour too, do you know what I'm saying? So we'll bring that back there. But I can even see just about, let's burn a wee bit more though. Wait a minute, that's what it is, I can't see. I just moved my glasses on my head when I started crying. Just to give you the visual. So now these bits of sage are a bit pathetic, really. Right, okay. See, even that, me saying a bit pathetic, it's like I feel somebody's really not, there's some really negative self-talk going on that I'm picking up on. It's like I feel whoever this is going to be for today, it's like you really need to give yourself credit for what you've went through, whether it be things way long in the past and the trauma surfacing, or which is basically what I'm saying, is that's kind of like for me. So yeah, that's what I'm connecting. That's what I was always connecting with this thing. Which is why I'm just explaining to people. It bothers me not to reply. It's not like there's not, well, there is quite a few comments. I was going to say it's not like there's loads and loads of comments. Like there is quite a few comments, but you just mostly from folk that the ones that I know well, that you chat all the time, and then there's some comments from new people. So I'm just sort of saying I might decide to just go back to replying to folk this week, or I might have another week to myself. Oh my god, I'm taking ages to get this message out. But the reason why that's important is because the message for Sunday, like today, was block out distractions, right? And I thought that's fascinating that not only on the day was a filming, I did mention in that video for today that I had free text in my phone and I was guided not to reply to any of them. And I didn't, like until the next day. But also the whole of the week, like the whole of this week, because remember I filmed them last Sunday, the whole of that week you've been watching these videos, I made a promise to myself not to reply to notifications specifically, right? And so that was connected to block out distractions. And I do get it. It has got something to do with just not being pulled away from your own stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because literally, so like I said, like I was just monitoring how I was feeling about sessions. But as it happens, I actually have got a live Zoom with one of you guys tomorrow. Because like I said, I do well again, but we'll see how I feel tomorrow. But because I have been in my strength, it's just I feel because I went to do this, I've tapped in. Clearly the people that weren't in their strength, and like I said, I actually felt that was going to be me, and it turned out it wasn't. But I feel it's because I was in that place last weekend. Basically, I allowed myself to be in the darkness a very long weekend, and it was a very dark long weekend. So, and that's not uncommon, that because I'm away shore, I do go through what the collective go through. Sometimes it is just as little as a week before it, but sometimes it's several weeks, months, sometimes years, which is why I went through my dark night of soul a very long time ago, to be able to be a teacher of it. Okay, anyway, fucking hell, why do we need to go into all that shit? But I don't need to know why. Somebody needs to know. Right, so we've burnt enough sage that I've... Oh my god, I was about to say we've burnt enough sage that I feel calmer now, 1444. This is, obviously there's going to be some... This is a twin flame channel for people who don't know that, so it's going to be twin flame stuff, but that's quite a few times I feel like I've been pulled to 144. when I was just started saying I got led to I've been through hell and back. So wasn't going to use these cards. Let's shuffle them. These are intense. Does feel like quite intense energy, so I think we do. Yeah, but I just looked at I've been through hell and back. So again, these are very scorpionic, intense, like Romeo and Juliet kind of love cards. I mean, do you know what I mean? I don't use them all the time, but these I love them, but they are very intense. You have to be in the mood for them. But because my eyes got pulled to that, I do feel that is going to have something to do with it. So I'm not feeling guided to use them right now, but I'll put them there and I'll see if I get guided to them again. Fuck, do you know what? I think all of this is going to have a lot to do with it. I watched that film. I'll just like, this is the funniest, sorry, this is the funniest video I feel I've done in a while, because it's like, I'm observing myself, like, am I putting this one out? But I will. I've cried before and again, because it's like, I know that I don't know, it's going to make sense to whoever it is that needs to connect with the video. And sometimes it's just about people, you know, giving themselves permission to just let it out. Because for me, it's like I'm channeling collective energy, and it has just been a very intense full moon eclipse in Scorpio, and we're still in that energy today. Yeah, look, see, look, they're just pulling me all this stuff. Honouring adversity, like I'm just honouring the times in my life where I've went through trauma, and yeah, you can relive it. That's what grief's about, you know. Grief's like a ball of wool. You never know when it's going to hit you, and it's not always about a person. It can be about the end of anything. That's what Scorpio's the death card. It's not always literal death. It very rarely. I mean, sometimes it can be, but it's usually just about a change or a transition, and that brings me on to the fact that there is a huge amount of divine masculine energies, regardless of gender, having massive epiphanies and really, and I'm talking proper waking up to who they really are at a soul level. And that's why I'm picking up on a really low energy in the collective too. So obviously I know that's not lots of you, I know that's not all of you, some of you have went through it, but you know, connect to when you were in it. There is just a wave of masculines waking up. It's really quite intense when I tune into that energy. Right, a fire reveals a path of renewed direction once the burning is complete. Yeah. Go, and then look what the next one is. I'm not using this deck. Expanding inner power. I am most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. And the weird thing is that this is my creativity. The way that I deliver the healing is here, there, and everywhere, all about the place. Right, so on that note, I watched that Trainwreck film again. It's literally called Trainwreck. Fucking hilarious. Like, I'm not even kidding. If you're a bit of a prude when it comes to sex scenes, don't bother watching it, because there's a lot of that in it. But so funny. Like, when I caught it the other day, when I'd put in a rare post that I just sort of, I was guided to put whatever I shared on the community tab, I'd actually only caught like I don't know the last, because it's a long film, it's like over 2 hours, but it was just random as fuck when I found it. But I sort of was kind of gathering enough of it. But now, having watched the whole film, and then I decided to watch it again yesterday because I needed a laugh, and oh, it's so funny, but it's actually very in line with the energies I'm channeling. It's like, it's really, really funny, right? But if you can read through the humour, it's very poignant and quite moving as well for lots of reasons. And again, this is why, again, if you're new around here, if you didn't read the info bit, I do use anything to paint the picture for the collective or the message that I'm channeling. Because I've done this as I was wee, the films and everything just speaks to me. Again, I'm a proper shaman, you know what I mean, in that way, where it's everything speaks to me. I don't know what a not proper shaman is, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, it really is. I just use anything to. Everything speaks to me. I can't really say it any other way than that. But yeah, this particular film, when I caught it that day, I caught it at the, if you've seen it, I just caught it a bit where it's like she's been in a relationship with someone, and basically the intimacy is just getting too much. So it's like her subconscious is kind of finding all these ways to be like, right, well, basically this is it. We're arguing. It's over now. I knew this was going to happen, you know. It's that kind of energy of, and it did, you know, it reminded me of a lot of just twin flames, basically, of what I've helped people with over all these years, and just what I know about this journey is, or when I've channeled about love languages, attachment styles, it's all connected. It's like that film is classically, it's somebody with a more secure attachment, um, and somebody with a like dismissive avoidant or anxious avoidant, a mixture of this, and it's like, you know, the secure being the guy, um and the, you know, dismissive sort of avoidant anxious energy being the woman. And it's because, like, you know, and that's where it's quite an interesting example, this film, because it's actually, but that is always the way. It is. Wait a minute. I'm saying it's an interesting example, but that's the same as no strings attached again as well, because it is the woman that's in divine masculine. Anyway, but this is an interesting example because it's not like, you know, I've not. Oh no. Anyway, I don't even know. Right. Whatever. I know what I'm trying to say, but I confuse myself. Basically, what I'm saying is the divine masculine energy, if we're using this for twin flame processes, would be the woman, and the divine feminine is the man. And the reason is because he can see how troubled she is, and she's putting herself as like party, you know. I was basically sleeping with loads of different folk, but she's not putting herself across in that way when she gets with him, because, but that's basically where she's come from. And then she does sort of say to him, and then, you know, it's there is a bit where they're arguing, and she's like, you know, I can't remember exactly what she says, but she's, you know, he's like, she says, yeah, so what if I've slept with loads of different guys? And he's like, I don't care that you smoke weed and you drink and you've slept with loads of guys. And he's like, wait a minute, how many guys? And it's kind of, you know, and then she's like, oh, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of, but that, it did make me laugh, but it's also quite sad too, because that is what will happen a lot with any kind of relationship where that's happened, where someone's like, you know, fuck you, I don't even care that you don't, you know, that you care about that, because I don't care about you. It's basically when someone like pushes you away with nasty words, or yeah, just basically saying things that they don't mean. And that can be confusing if you aren't. That's when, I suppose, if we give an example of people that both aren't securely attached, I mean, that just becomes completely toxic, yeah, and completely, yeah, that's the best word, completely toxic, because you both be traumatizing, hurting each other, trauma bonded, really. But what's interesting about that film is, I mean, I'm not going to tell you the whole sort of film, but they are getting me to say this, is there's a really funny bit when they've slept together, and it's just, oh my god, I was fucking pissing myself. They've slept together, and then he calls her because he wants to go out again, right? And the girl was like, to her friend, she's like, oh my god, he's calling me. Oh my god, he must have butt dialed me. And then she's like, yeah, he must have. And then when he says, you know, do you want to go out again? She's like, you know, covering the phone, going to the friend, he wants to see you again. And she's like, oh my god, there must be something wrong with him. I'm going to call the police. I just thought that's so funny. Like, it's funny, but it's kind of like, you know, that is how some people are, that they're like, wait a minute, this amazing person likes me. There must be, they must be a fucking weirdo. Like, what is wrong with them that they want to be with me? Like that, and that's not funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where they make me. That's not funny that someone would think that low of themselves, that they couldn't possibly deserve a really nice person to love them. You know, basically. So if this is you, or if this is whatever I'm channeling about the situation, and that's really what that whole film's out. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it is really funny, like so funny. I'd say that's went right up to one of my favourites. But it's because it's got a bit of everything in it, and I suppose it's because I'm a bit of everything, and that's why I'm just laughing when I referred on the community tab that I'll take that sign for me. I didn't know what the whole film was about, so I really want to make that clear, because I meant, yeah, I could be a bit of a train wreck, and I own it. But I didn't go quite into the self-sabotaging what she does, let's just put it that way. But I know many people that do, and I help many people with that. And I've definitely had my time of drinking too much, which is why I don't drink now. Do you know what I mean? It's, we all live and learn. And it's really, again, that's why I think I connected with it too. It's like, although she really takes it to extremes, because it's like she's going out drinking and sleeping with someone every time she goes out. Again, that's like when I've said, which I certainly didn't do. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I've got Saturn and Scorpio. I never even fucking kiss folk that much, apart, let alone have that. It's not that that never happened. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it definitely, by no means, there's no way that every time I went out having a drink that would be an end goal, like nowhere near an end goal, that's not the right way to put it, but you know what I'm saying. But there are people that would be like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, again, it's like I say, I feel society pushes a lot of people to feel the pressure. It's a bit like when I've been far too TMI here, but over the years, when if I'd kind of been like, wait a minute, I haven't had sex with someone for 6 months, subconsciously I would have been feeling a bit weird, and randomly it's so weird. Like I used to notice it would be like around the 6 months mark, yeah, I'd end up sleeping with someone, and it would be because of that. Because it's like I didn't want to be saying, oh, I haven't had sex for a year, and then obviously, due to different sorts of healing and self work and therapy, really, I fucking got over that because it's like that's really not okay. I was about to, you know what, I was about to say something that I didn't, I stopped myself, but I'm going to say what I was going to say. I'm going to say what, I'm going to uncensor it. I was about to say that's sad as fuck, but what I meant is sad as fuck in both the senses. It's embarrassing, but I could say that because it's me, but also it's sad as in that's really sad that anyone would do that. And then I just, yeah, when I got more confident, secure within myself, like say securely attached, I'd be quite proud to be like, yeah, I've not had sex for years on end. Do you know what I mean? Been celibate for X amount of years and whatever, because then it's like you don't give a shit what anyone says. You know what I mean? That's when that's obviously when I was in the point in my life where it's like, although I was always very different, um, depending on how many people are saying to you, well, that's a bit weird. If you've not a boyfriend and you've not had sex with, you know what I mean? So change it. You know, you could be, yeah. Change. So whoever's resonating with that, because again, thanks very much, Spirit World, for making me go TMI. But I really don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I just don't. You can overcome anything. But yeah, watch it. I won't channel any more about that film unless it comes in. But watch it because it's just, it's, it's just so funny. It's so funny. I'm just trying to think if there was anything else. Yeah, oh, that's it. God, do we need that deck of cards again? I'll not get what I don't know if all that theme's going to come up again because that was more in the shadow work readings. God, I didn't want to make this long, but whatever, story of my life. Because again, and also just practically, because I think the shorter videos are attracting different folk as well, but I can't help how long videos are. Now I've got the hiccups. When I get the hiccups or a burp, I'm transmuting energy. What was I going to say there? Yeah, in that film, there's a real thing going on where the dad is, well, basically that fascinating. Again, you know, people be like, clear it's a comedy, but it's a romantic comedy, but no, it has got a lot of what I channel about quite a lot. Where the whole film starts off where it's the dad basically justifying that he's been cheating on the mum, and and he's saying to girls like, you know, monogamy isn't realistic, and they're repeating it. So basically, the whole point of the film is that girl has become that way because her dad has said, you know, it's being in a safe, secure relationship isn't normal. It's not realistic. So she has been brought from a young age to think that. Therefore, because it's even the fact that, like, you know, you kind of, you know, you kind of miss that in the film a bit, that she has actually seen someone in the film, but she's just fucking shagging away like she isn't. So sorry to be blunt, again, I'm Scottish, but it's just true. There's no other way to put it. Like, she's dating this big muscly bloke, but she's, you know, hooking up with folk as if she wasn't. And again, that is some people's lives, you know. And again, it comes from wherever. It's not always caregivers that make us think that's all right. It can just be your peers, you know, or society. So again, that's kind of going into the shadowy stuff that a lot of folk wouldn't go near, but it is just true. It's very Scorpio full moon, exposed and revealed. Learning a lesson about something, the world card. Um, but yeah, the whole point is throughout all the laughs and the jokes of that film is I wouldn't tell you the whole fucking film, although I kind of have told you quite a lot, but I wouldn't tell you one of the important bits is when the girl starts to sort of change when she's in a relationship with this guy. Even when the dad, this is important actually, the dad likes the love interest, right? Aaron, I think his name is, and but even though he likes him, what I would say is that's a typical, yeah, he's a narcissist. Like, you'll see in the film, it's funny too, he's quite a negative guy. And yeah, and he's like, since when does Aaron know everything? And kind of putting it, and then she's trying to start, and she's like, look, he's actually helping me to see the world a little differently, and he's kind of expanding my horizons, like that card says, or expanding inner power. And she's defending him, but at the same time, see, when that's a parent, especially, it really does something to you. And again, subconsciously, that would have been like triggering her and wanting to push the guy away, which, yeah, you'll see yourself. So, but the whole point is that comes from the parent's insecurity. And then you'll see, even when if you'll need to watch the film now to understand what I'm saying, but I'll watch it back to see. Hopefully, you get enough of the context if you haven't seen it, but if not, you generally will. But it's like a fucking film review sometimes. But yeah, when she says that and she walks away, because it's like he's kind of upset at her, because she's like, because she actually says, look, do you want me to be happy? And this is the kind of things, this is energy that I felt I was channeling the last few months that keeps coming through for folk, is that's a parent that is fulfilling their needs through a child. And in that case, it's an older child. And so when she meets somebody that really likes her and she likes him, and it doesn't mean she's sleeping with loads of different people, and she's making her shit herself and feel really vulnerable. Oh, that's like what I was channeling at the start. But she also scared, so she wants to run away. But the guy keeps being very patient with her because he understands and goes at her pace. The dad tries to put her off, it's subtly, but that is what, you got to watch. Some narcissistic behaviour is very subtle. And it's like, that's why it's good when she's like, do you not want me to be happy? Like, because the dad keeps saying, oh, we'll see how long this lasts before you're on the next one. Like, he's like, I know your pattern because it's my pattern. You know what I mean? And that's like, that is such a terrible thing and I know it's just a film, but it does happen in real life, where a parent would want a child to follow a pattern of just avoiding intimacy for the rest of her life, because again, she's deeply unhappy. She's drinking too much, and she's around all the wrong type of folk. Like, all the people at her work are really nasty, horrible folk. Although it is funny if you watch it. It is funny, but they're really not very nice people. And that's the conclusion she comes to. Again, I wouldn't say the rest of the film because you'll see for yourself. She aims higher, and it's because of that relationship. And then obviously, like all the films, there's a breakup and then somebody realises and blah, blah, blah. So again, I feel with me channeling that for fucking 32 minutes, so of course it's going to get to 33 minutes when I'm about to start channeling the cards. That's going to be, yeah, bits and bobs that are going to make sense to folk. So let's get going with this. Right, so it's important to remember that the point of power is always in the present moment. So again, with me channeling out all that, nearly fucking smashing my teacup that I love, a certain darkness is needed to see the stars. So if you resonate with being that woman at 33 minutes, divine masculine energy, forgiveness, forgive yourself. See how they done that? Forgive yourself. Because in that film, that's what she learns to do. She's like, yeah, oh God, that's the bit that I loved. Wait a minute, I've had to write it down so I didn't forget it. That basically she says something about, like, the drunken encounters and the mistakes and all that kind of stuff that you make. It's practice for the main event. Like, basically the relationship where you're going to be more grown up and intimate, and it could still be exciting, but you're actually not going to run away from your real feelings, and you're going to, yeah, it's all the stuff that comes through all the time. I think basically he challenges her to do better for herself, which is the most important thing, because she does stuff for herself when they're not together. Again, like twin flame separation. Yeah, basically for dismissive or anxious, avoidant attachment styles, it's like the answer is, you do need to go slow with intimacy and at the pace that the other person wants. Like, you need to compromise. Both people need to compromise. And that's what I think that film's a really good example of. And just the way the guy is with her, I just think it's brilliant, because at one bit she's like, when she's trying to say, like, look, the other night was great, but we need to keep it professional. And he's like, okay, so where do you want to go? And she's like, did you not hear me? Like, I don't want to see you like that again. He's like, no, I know I heard you. I just don't believe you. I think we really like each other and I think we should go out. And I'm sorry, guys, but I can't help notice it is a little bit like people that aren't on the twin flame journey could see. They could see, that in the divine feminine energies, couldn't they? They could be like, it's like you're just not taking no for an answer. But what's different about in that scenario is if she was then feeling uncomfortable, she'd be like, fuck you, you fucking weirdo, and she'd be off. Which again, that can happen. But it's like, she's kind of like, oh, weird. You actually could see through me. She doesn't say that, but she's like, because he's right. She does like him, but she's not used to it. She's used to fuck him and chuck him. Do you know what I mean? Like that. I'm sorry, I did not like that term, but it came into my head and I said it. And so he's obviously got into a bit of her that she's not used to, and she wants to run away. And it's just really, really lovely. Watch it. It's just the whole film is fucking hilarious. Every bit of it, and I loved it. Amy Schumer, whatever I think that's her name, is it? She's really funny. I'm pretty sure. I'm just trying to think if that was her. I always get her and that other one mixed up, but I'm pretty sure she was in that other one that I love. It's called something runs. I can't remember her name, but Brittany Runs a Marathon. I'm pretty sure that's what that's called. I watched it years ago, but that made me cry too. It's really funny, but it made me cry because I'm pretty sure it's the exact same thing. It's about someone running from intimacy. Yeah, I need to find that again, actually. I haven't watched that for years, but I remember loving that. Right, okay, so I'm shuffling. Oh, what the hell? This was meant to be a flower reading. Why am I shuffling these? Right, where's... I didn't get... Oh my god. I guess we don't need to ask anything. Practice patience, divine order, false twin flame. Come back to that. Express yourself, speak your truth. Right. I was going to say, like, where's the divine feminine at, where's the divine masculine at, but when it comes out like that before I've said it, it's like, and they were all in reverse, by the way, so it's like I feel this is a lesson someone's went through, is basically impatience with do you know what? I really do feel I'm really channeling an energy of, like, this bit doesn't feel connected to what I said with that film, but we'll see. It's like I'm channeling an energy of somebody that's basically tried to run from, this is somebody that's really tried to run from their twin flame, but I'm talking like hardcore, tried to make other people that, even though they knew that they weren't. So again, that's not really got anything to do with that film that I can see, but that doesn't matter, of course. Yeah, it's like somebody's got impatient with trying to run from this, making everybody else that, and not speaking the truth. Yeah. Is that what you're trying to say here? Let's put them back. And again, if you're new around here, you don't know that. Helping people identify who their true twin flame is a speciality of mine. For many reasons, just because I've been on the twin flame journey for 13 years, because of my unique specific things that I've went through, things that I've helped you with, and where my Pluto and Scorpio is. Psychic detective. Right, okay, so where is the divine feminine collective at in the physical? High priestess, all-knowing, completing cycles. 10/10, the 10th of October might be significant anniversary. Someone, again, we identified once before that a lot of people on this channel actually had gotten married on this date, and people got divorced on this date, but a lot of people were married on that date, to not twin flames like karmics. So, but I feel divine feminine is your expansion, oh my god, there's a lot about expanding here, isn't it? Your inner power is expanding. Because you've honoured your own adversity. And overcoming obstacles. And divine masculine. Oh my god, see, now it is connected to that film. Sacred sexuality, accessing the unified field. I'm so much, anyway, whatever. I'm basically talking about somebody that was not a divine masculine energy. That woman in the film was not, that's the bit that I don't find funny about these films, because it makes sex just look so like no big deal. And that's a terrible way to look at sex. I mean, forgive yourself if you look at it like that, but that's a terrible way to look at sex. And I'm not going to lie, there will be certain points in my life that when I was numbing things out with alcohol, that I wouldn't have ever said it like that. But yeah, if you drink yourself to the point of oblivion, anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? So this is why it's dangerous, and you've got to know yourself really well to know that you know what I mean. Like, well, whatever, it's personal decisions, but that's where you got to take personal responsibility for things. But yeah, divine masculine is starting to understand sacred sexuality, because that's what that woman does in that film. She goes from just shagging people like absolutely steaming drunk after a night out, like basically needing lots of different attention from lots of different people to feel loved and needed, and realising that just makes you feel empty. Like, really, what everybody wants deep down at the core of it is to feel safe, and you can never feel safe with that, but there's a false sense of safety and security in that. That's really deep. Right. Oh god, and then on the bottom we've got karmic relationship, releasing the past. Yeah, see how it does now connect back to the film. In that film, she releases her past of just basically shagging loads of different people, or being in a relationship but shagging people. Again, because she's meant to be in a relationship with that guy, but she's shagging loads of different people. I need to stop saying shagging, but it won't stop coming out of my mouth. And probably because it's Sag Moon and I'm Sag Moon. It's blunt. Blunt truth, it is. Releasing the past. Like, this person, this energy is not wanting to be like that anymore. Right, and that's what spiritual awakening is all about. You can reinvent yourself. Right, so overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. Expect wondrous changes to emerge. Faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Now, these were just the cards that I pulled off line, and so I'm going to shuffle because because I like people to see that it's not me planting the cards are coming out, so I can't guarantee at all that the same cards are going to come out, but that's what they wanted me to show. Passion and pleasure. Flame reminds me of twin flames. Savour your life. Yeah, enjoy the present moment. There's a full moon. We're still in the full moon energy. Vastas, vistas. Expand your horizons. Right, so it's different cards, but same kind of energies. New beginnings. Expand your horizons. It feels very... Oh, also... Sagittarius moon is about the spiritual journey and literal journey, and that looks like that dude's about to go on a journey in a box. I mean, I don't know. Why is he sitting on the box? Oh, right, I get it. Fuck, I've just got it. He's been in... Oh, that's hilarious. He's been in a box. Like, it's like being trapped. This is like Truman Show. He's been trapped in a box, and now he's ready to... By the way, there's so many jokes I could make, but we'll not take it there. He's been trapped in a box, like, keeping himself. Yeah, it's like being in the Matrix, and now he's jumping out of the Matrix to savour his life, more passion and pleasure, and believing in magic. It's somebody, yeah, look, there's the full moon again, stepping out of the small world of safety that this person has built around them. Gates of triumph. Success expands in your life, and because of that, you're going to uncover treasure. This is, by the way, there's so many innuendos in this, it's making me laugh, but I'm keeping going. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. Clear the past, heal the present. Transformation. There's the phoenix rising. A fresh new way of living emerges. Yep. Okay, and I mean, I could keep going. Look, it's just to continue the story. Love flows through you and to you. A breakthrough is at hand. You're strong beyond measure. Stepping in your power as well. All is possible. Choosing your path. They're all saying the same thing. Wise leader. You're a beacon for others. That's like when I say, that's very Sagittarius moon. Get the bigger picture. That's what right now is about. If you're watching it at Sag moon, that's why I help people get the bigger picture of why this all happens, why you get duped by false twin flames, why you get led to certain karmic partners, why everything matters. Forgiveness matters, blah, blah, blah. Discovering the truth. You stand in the light of truth. Yeah, that's why I always say the wise leader one. It's like whatever you've personally went through as a divine masculine energy, regardless of your gender, You're going to be able to lead others through their darkness at some point when you're ready to, when you go through your own stuff. Crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. Through gratitude, joy expands. Right, so we need to stop somewhere. So, don't worry, we're not stopping the total video because it was meant to be a flower reading. I've not even fucking pulled one yet, but we're going to do it now. Right, okay, so what do we need to know for the divine feminine energy? So this is your divine feminine, divine masculine energy. If this is yours, if it doesn't connect at all, it's not yours today. Find one of the other ones, or timeless, if you want to. Oh, that's the card I mentioned. Oh, that's see, this is crazy. I knew they were going to do that. That is the card I mentioned in the day before. So if you watch it, it's only 11 minutes 12 seconds, because it was 11:11 and it added an extra second. I did say that the affirmation for that day reminded me of this card, and this is the one I meant. Financial healing, yellow lily. Your money struggles are a thing of the past. Be open to all avenues to receiving, and you'll be provided for in every way. This is about money, yes, but it's about self-worth. Someone that connects with this, your money's going to pick up, and it's because you're not kind of limiting yourself or being in a small box around. Oh my god, the word that I'm using is so funny. Basically, what I mean is you're not pigeonhole yourself in. You're not living in this, like, it reminds me of another deck I've got where it's something about similar. It's like the guy's breaking out of a greenhouse. And it's like a tree breaking out a greenhouse. Do you know what I mean? It's basically like your soul power has expanded so much. You're just, you need to move from where you are. Whoever connects with that, whether it's a love situation, a job situation, a friendship group, but it's also to do with, like, if you're like that girl and you're just having meaningless sex with people, lots of different people. Yeah, your money can drain away. I'm not saying that would happen to everyone, but it can happen. And if it's not your literal money, your sense of self-worth over time, because that's where that girl ends up admitting, like, basically she keeps ripping into her sister because her sister's happily married and then pregnant, and, basically slagging her sister for having this kind of happy life. And the sister ends up snapping her, being like, look, I'm not weird because I'm in a safe, secure relationship. You know what I mean? It's like, and then, the one that's doing all of that ends up admitting, I only make fun of you all the time because I'm afraid that I'll never have what you've got. Do you know what I mean? And that's basically, so that's, again, this is like a therapy session today, guys, but I am a counsellor therapist. That's how you got to see through things, that sometimes when people act like they're happy with this way of their life and all of that, they might actually genuinely think it in the moment, and then when everything comes down on like a ton of bricks, they're like, shit, I'm not happy. And that's when I'm saying, have love for people right now, because that's what that full moon can do. For any full moon can do that to people. It's what a breakdown is, but a breakdown can be a breakthrough. So, but basically, like, pick up the energy again, Sag moon and all that. Sag moon as I'm channeling this, but it's also still Sag moon for the Monday that I'm channeling this for. If your money's not already picked up, it's gonna, and it's because you're no longer limiting yourself in the small box that you've been operating from. Do you know what I mean? Like, keeping yourself small, dimming your light, all that kind of jazz. Felix being around people, like in that film, she's around, because the guy even says that to her when they're arguing. He's like, all the people at your work are nasty. They're horrible. They sit about and gossip about people, and she can even see that, because at one point the boss is really, really. I don't even want to laugh because it's no nice. Like, the way in which the boss rips into the guy, it's funny because it's a funny film. But it's also not funny because I knew they were giving me an example of, if someone's insecure anyway, that's all it takes is people around them slag off the love interest, and some people will sadly just bin it. And that's where that's sad. If somebody doesn't pursue love just because other people have got something to say about it, that's manipulation, it's gaslighting in some cases, it's very nasty, insecure people unhappy with their life. Well, it's judging a book by its covers, it's all these horrible things, you know what I mean? And but anyway, it is a funny film, there's no taking away it's a funny film. Right, so that divine feminine, your money's going to pick up basically, and divine masculine side, the way I was channeling it there before I said that, divine masculine's feminine side, your feelings, your sense of self-worth, your emotion, this is for feminines too if you connect with, is going to pick up because you're not around people that pull you down, basically. Right, let's see if this, what comes out for divine masculine or divine feminine's masculine side, just whoever connects with. Yep, so interesting, that's interesting, right? I feel, see what I've just went through the last week where I was guided to just pull back my energy more than what I usually do. I feel divine masculine energies are going to be guided to do that this week coming. Or you might, yeah, whenever you watch this, take time for yourself. So take time for yourself like you saw me do, right? It wasn't the end of the world. Even if I take another week for myself, it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? Enjoy relaxation activities that nurture your soul. And the thing that's quite interesting for me, that I'm just being guided to the fact that, see, I always get fascinated by that, is that I never watched Sunday's video until Saturday. So when that card came out that said block out distractions, I didn't find out that that basically confirmed to me that me holding back from doing something which might seem as little as not responding to comments was what I really needed to do. And you don't always know what, again, divine feminines, we rarely, to be honest, speaking for myself, I rarely know why I'm being guided to do something, but it always makes sense later. So if that connects with you, trust it. Enjoy relaxation activities that nurture your soul. Divine masculine, you're being guided to take some time to go within. Right, what else? Be positive. Bromeliad, I don't know how to say that. Bromeliad? Your thoughts can shape your experience, so be sure to focus on the positive. So again, I feel this is for the people that have been in a really dark time. Pink is about self-love to me. It can mean whatever it means to you. But again, you take some time for yourself and try to look for any positive in the situation. Like, and if it's that you're in a dark place, it's like well, look how much you've grown. Look how much you've learned. If you've been scorned, what have you learned that you never want to experience again, kind of thing. Oh, that's my favourite card in this deck because I love orchids. Reach for the stars, yeah. Like, now it's time to, you've experienced the darkness, now let's experience some of the light, kind of thing. You deserve only the, oh, I love it, look. You deserve only the best, and this is all you should focus your attention on. Yeah, so I'm definitely channeling the energy of somebody that's went through hell and back, like that card says. Yeah, uplift your thoughts. So there's a lot about Lily here. So again, the name Lily is going to be significant to someone as well. I've channeled that for quite some time, so one day we'll find out what that's all about. I do know there are some people that watch the channel that could take that, but it just, yeah, it always comes through. Focus your attention on the many blessings that surround you. By doing so, you'll let go of depression, poor self-esteem, and excess weight. I always have found that one really significant. Let's just cut the deck. Yep, because look, this is what I just said, I feel. You're a wise soul that's going to come into unity with your twin flames on this, and I'm sure that spiritual teacher behind it. No, there's a spiritual teacher card I can see. Right, there is a spiritual teacher card about this, but share the message of love. Peer pressure. Yeah, look, right. You're a wise soul, right? That's been popping up a lot. Self-love, you're a wise soul, and your soul carries ancient wisdom. Please embrace it as you have the knowledge to help and heal those around you. I feel it's about what you've went through. When you share, you'll be able to share, whether it's on a, just talking to folk around you, telling people your experience, once you've healed from it enough to do that. And so, because some of you are still in it, is what I'm saying. Rivers of love flow through you, within you, and others may benefit from this healing energy. Be mindful of each word that passes your lips. It's about, right, also jumping back to that, when I described when they're arguing, there's a scene in that where she basically says something to hurt his feelings. She says, yeah, well, my boss thought you were too boring anyway. And then you see him walk away and close the door, and he's like, right, I'm done. Like, basically, it's like she pushes him too far, and he walks away. And the thing is, I do feel there's a bit of that going on in the collective with Twin Flames right now, and I feel it's divinely orchestrated like that it's like, whatever it is, something pushes one twin too far, and it pushes them to choose themselves, and it's meant to be like that. Because you see, she breaks, after she says it, you never feel good when you say something horrible like that to someone that you know is a really nice person, doesn't deserve it. I don't care what anyone says, you're not going to feel good about yourself. Yeah, she bursts out crying, but she doesn't do anything about it. She doesn't chase after him or anything initially, but she goes and changes her life. She goes in does the things that he'd encouraged her to do. But again, it was subconsciously. It was because the seed was being planted by the boss that had said things that weren't nice about him. The dad, you know what I mean? And it's about, and that's I feel, oh God, if you've got access to this film, go and watch it to see what I mean. But that's the subtlety behind that film, is they're trying to show you a classic case of a narcissistic parent that has shaped a child to just be like them and be dependent on them, because he gets his supply out of her kind of being the same as him, and and it's, although she is really funny, she's not happy. You know what I mean? Don't let others coerce yourself in a decision. You know in your heart what the right choice is. Yeah, that's tying in with what I'm saying. Unity. You're spiritually connected to everyone through God. Use the sacred bond to heal your family, friends, and yourself. And that's just like what I said for, I think it's today's one actually. It is Sundays. I mean, because remember, I'm channeling this on Sunday, so for a Monday. This is too confusing. Just for fucking whenever, right? This has been too long. See, but everything is channeling. Every day I'm channeling. Something's been too long. Yeah, it's kind of like, I think, be mindful of every word that passes your lips is very much like, if you can stop yourself before you say something destructive to someone you love, will do. Be mindful of every word that passes your lips. But if you've already done it, and we've all done it at some point in the past, forgive yourself, because those that truly love you anyway will know you. Like the guy knows that woman in the film. He challenges her to grow beyond what she's capable of, because he can see she's not really happy, and then she does become happy, and it's happy endings. And actually that's for the shorts for is it Monday or Tuesday? The shorts for Monday is how I pulled a card that says, how's that for a happy ending? So there will be some happy endings for some people around now, but for others it's a bit of a longer journey, and that's okay as well. Right, what do we need from this deep and intense deck? So bit of a mixed bag today. I'll need to watch it back, and I'll just watch it back and see what that was all about. But like I always say, it'll make sense to who it's meant to make sense to. And going by some of the, I mean, what video is that? One of the videos has got like, one of the videos has got 22 likes. That's loads for me. I mean, again, some people wouldn't say this stuff, but I'm just honest. I'm just saying. I was like, wow, like that. People are really connected with that. So I'll keep doing my thing, guys. Oh, look, I'm ready to commit 100%. Yes, this is what I'm saying. It's like somebody pulling right back and just basically not giving as much energy or any energy that they were given before, is allowing a slightly elastic band theory in the Men Are From Mars and We're From Venus. Someone's springing back, basically. Like a whole new man or a whole new woman. Because I still love you and I want us to start all over again. And maybe you never even started in the first place because this person was too afraid to go there. Because that's a lot of the elements to what I can feel as well. And I'll call you very soon. So yeah, I told you they're intense. Again, I have to put a disclaimer on this. This is not everybody's story, but it will be someone's. I'm trying so hard to figure out how to make it work between us. This is somebody that wants to put in the work. And that's a good point in the twin flame journey. If it looks like your twin is still doing whatever they want and running away and not putting in the work, walk away. You have to walk away. Love yourself. Awaken and inspired action, and it'll awaken that in them when it's time. There is only what life is asking of me. It's kind of like, right, this is a very extreme example, and not exactly the same, because in that film she really does have enough. She walks away and basically he's lost her. But in Closer, I've used this example before over the years. Well, I have used this example in personal sessions over the years, but I probably have channeled this in public as well over the last year and a half. In Closer, at the end of Closer, right, that's a fucked up film where it's got loads of terrible language, and I mean like sexual graphic, like even I'm like, fucking hell, man. Again, I haven't watched that for literally about 10-15 years or something, but it's pretty graphic. But it must have made an impact for me to remember it, that it's all about cheating. It's all about, yeah, people that are bored and unhappy in relationships, cheating. They all fucking, God, it's swapsies in that film, if you've seen it. Anyway, it's based on a play, but very vulgar language. And I don't use the word vulgar, but it's vulgar. The way that, yeah, anyway, just it's a bit much at times. Especially, I've obviously watched that when I was, actually shouldn't have been, I was probably about 15 or 16, but whatever. Yeah, the girl has just basically forgiven the guy for cheating on her. And like, she just absolutely adores this guy, loves him to bits, would do anything for him, and yeah, he just, anyway, it's basically to do with that, right? And then it's something like towards the end of the film, I can't remember why, but they're like, they forget, it's like they're together, right? You can tell she's just like done, basically, is the way that I would put it. She just looks numb, and she's had enough. And he walks in and he's saying something. Now, I don't think he's saying I love you or that. He's just talking to her normally, like, you know, do you want something? Do you want something from the garage? That's what came to me. I don't know. He's saying something, and she just turns around and she goes, "I don't love you anymore." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "I don't love you anymore." And I can't remember the rest, to be honest. And then, yeah, she basically packs up her stuff and leaves. And there's a whole other element to that that's quite interesting too. Is that, yeah, and that goes into a whole different thing. Is that I think she wasn't actually showing him the real her, because it wasn't her real name. Anyway, that might have something to do with it too. Again, it's guarding that's somebody that's like guarding themselves because they just knew they were going to be hurt in the end. Yeah, I suppose that's what the theme is with there. But anyway, just really to sort of, because I haven't watched that film for such a long time, I do need to watch it again. But what I'm saying is, it's like I feel a divine feminine energy getting to the point of, actually, I've been pushed too far and I've had enough of this now, but really had enough. And so I feel it's, even if you weren't someone that was like actively trying to get, you know, like I say, that's not who, most of you, that's not really the people I tend to attract, because I never done it. But it's like, if you weren't actively like calling somebody, texting somebody, you know, just trying to give them all your, like, you know, just trying to fucking be anything to them because they're ghosting you, you would have been energetically always praying they'd wake up, hoping they'd see the light, hoping they'd realise their own self-worth, hoping they'd not stay stuck basically where they are, you know, when you know they're capable of more. You'd always be saying, whether you realize it or not, you're sending them energy, which is a lovely thing to do. But at some point, you know, I do feel it's a bit like if you kept literally helping a friend that was like drinking and all this kind of whatever. We're using an example of that film, but or a friend that keeps getting into toxic relationships and they're repeating a cycle. All of you will have been around something like that, or, you know, have an example of it somewhere in life, in the public eye or something like that. If you keep trying to stop that person from doing it, they're going to become dependent on you. And that's the message I get. It's like, I feel a lot of divine masculine energies, even if they don't realise it, have been too dependent. Oh, prosperity just leapt out there. Too dependent on, oh look, prosperity and success. That's victory. So there's a gift from the universe that's going to be victorious coming for someone. There's that magnet I haven't put back on my fridge. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. Yeah, it's like this feeling of of divine feminine pulling her energy right back and just really having that healing for you and really not focused on them at all. It helps somebody realise what they want, because they feel your absence. And that, like, you know, whether it's literally, they feel your absence, they just feel that your energy is not around them. That's what I'm getting. Again, that's definitely not where they all are, but some of them will reach that point. All of them will reach that point. But I suppose that's the message is, what is the message? Remarkable. Yeah, they'll get to the point where they realise how remarkable this connection is, even if it wasn't a relationship. It's like, it's the two rings, it's like, it's a union. Doesn't mean there was there might have been a marriage involved for some people. I know some twin flames where like they have been married to a twin and then even divorced, and then, you know, it's all kind of different journeys people get, but it's like, oh God, what's all this? Oh, wow, look what just jumped out. True love, that's how I ended the Sundays one, which I'm filming on this day. True love comes when you least expect it. Yeah, you see it is. It's like, totally, completely let somebody go as if they're not coming back. And if they are the one, they'll come back. It's a fucking irony of life. Doesn't mean right away, but it's because you've got a telepathic bond. Close soul connections are harmoniously synchronous, creating moments to telepathy. But again, it's because of this true love telepathic bond. If you've been chatting away, you know, I don't know, chatting away telepathically for endless amounts of decades, you know, even if you haven't seen this person for years, they're going to feel a difference and they're not going to like it, and it's going to push them to awaken, enlightenment. With enlightenment, there's no separation. We recognise that we're one with the divine. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, and I just feel that's about it. At some point, this person has been like, we're too different. We're too different, it won't work. Oh my God, I should have said it. Fuck, and that's annoying when that happens. I was going to say we're too different, and I was about to say, yeah, you are different. You're yin and yang. Twin flames are yin yang, and that came out. Like yin yang symbol, twin flames contain an aspect of each other, character within themselves. But the thing is, it's like whoever this is, it's a divine masculine reaching this kind of conclusion. It's like, oh my God, like whenever I'm thinking bad of them or thinking weird to do it, it's like this person can actually, that's the awakening moment, is I can see myself in them. Like I can see parts of me. And yep, very tempting connection. This person's, but what I'm getting is, this person's almost thought far too carefully about this. Like they've been too serious about it and too cautious and not done anything or enough about it. Oh, is that it? Yeah, because they've just been too controlling of it. But again, this is what many people will do. They try to control the situation, and when they fall in love, true love, they don't like it. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. If you're really in that toxic, controlling divine masculine energy, they don't like that. Passion. When that passion combined with true love takes over someone, it can make them very angry as well. But just allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And just go with the flow. Look, admire. Like, accept that you do have these strong feelings. It's time to think of everything that you admire in your partner, because these are things about yourself as well that you admire. It's time to take back control of your life. That's funny, release control. That's which one? But it's like, ironically, when you free yourself from, look, it's a ring again. It's like, you know, it was a box before, now it's like a fence. It's like you've boxed yourself in, you've fenced yourself in, you've allowed other people to box you in. Do you know what it's like? It's like I feel someone's been boxed in as being, in that film, it's like a female player or a player, a male player. It's like you've created this persona that keeps you safe, because in that film everyone keeps referring to her as being loose, basically. Do you know what I mean? And that can never be nice to be spoken about like that behind your back. Who the fuck is going to like that? But again, depending on where you're at in your life, some people think that's cool. It's not cool. And you get to that point in your life, you're like, I don't want people to speak to me like about that. And well, then if you don't want people to speak about you like that, you need to change. Do you mean, fair enough, if folk aren't bothered about being like that, there'll be people like that now. But I don't think anybody watching this channel is there, you know, or wants to be there any longer, is what I would say. Yep, deep emotions, because they're awakening unknown feelings, past life influences. Past life influences made somebody like that. 15's the devil too. The devil made you like that. Society. Now somebody wants to get into their feelings, wants to be with their divine feminine. The 7th is today, the day I'm channeling it. Magnetic receptive power. This is basically confirming everything that I've said, is that all of this has pushed somebody into has pushed the divine masculine energy into their feelings. So for the men out there that are in divine feminine energy on the channel, this has pushed your divine masculine woman into her feelings, where she was being a bit detached. I don't know, hopefully, you know, your divine masculine woman isn't like the woman in that film, but I mean, some days might be like this, but But I bet you if whoever's watching this and that is describing them, you love them, you get them, you know that they were acting like that from a place of feeling unworthy. And at one point they'll realise, actually, I don't want to be like this anymore. And then don't let yesterday use up too much of today. You can decide that you want to be in a committed, safe, secure relationship, and you can leave the past behind, and the person that loves you will accept that about you, that you're a new person. Bright heart, light, open connections, 18's the moon, secrets. It's like, yeah. And this person's guarding their heart. So if this is you that's terrified of intimacy, I feel that's both twins. So just take your time. You know, all you need to do is just go at your own pace. Healing the heart, power of self-love. Go at your own pace, love yourself. And loving yourself means speaking up. Saying like, look, I want to do this, I want to try, but I have to go at my own pace. And if that's not good enough for someone, then it is what it is, you know what I mean? But with twins, it would be. Akashic record, silent understanding, because there's a silent understanding, basically. Full moon again. 5 and 2 is 7. It's the 7th that I'm channeling it. Because you're twin flames. I love it. There's a silent understanding between... I knew this card was going to come out. I saw it clairvoyantly before I started. I love that card. There's a silent understanding between twin flames. And 16 is the tower. Big, huge changes. Life-changing events happening. It's your soul partner. It's your eternal connection. It doesn't matter what goes on. It doesn't matter what different roads your twin goes down. You've got a silent, hidden, true love connection. You're each other's yin-yang. That could be a thumbnail if I can't find anything else. Nobody else needs to get this apart from the two of you, basically. And you need to ground it into the physical. The power to give and receive healing. And that's really what this is all about, right? At some point, whoever's connecting with this, 111, the stars are aligning, new beginnings, because 111 means new beginnings, alignment. It was one-sided. And somebody pulling their energy right back or cutting it off pretty much has helped the other one to realise their feelings. Kindness. This Queen of Pentacles. This is funny because the Queen of Pentacles in my language with the tarot is, whether it's upright or reverse, definitely, but often upright. It's not in the sexual tarot that I can think of. It's never usually a good card, but in this case, it's like this was a divine feminine energy, regardless of gender, that was just too kind, you know, giving too much. Because I'm like, I wouldn't put kindness on this kid. But anyway, it's like, yeah, look, she's handing this out. She was always willing to give the world to their twin, to your twin. Or this person was willing to give the world to you if you're the other one. That's the truth. But it's led to both people having sleepless nights, anxiety. The 9, it needs to come to an end now, where this person has learned to give back to themselves properly. Because I think we can have times when we think we're giving ourselves, but you would still always give the world to your twin. And until you've finally learned that lesson, which I can channel this all day long, you're only going to get that when you're meant to get it on your personal journey. When you finally step into your power, and basically to really just call a spade, you don't put up with any shit, and you don't put up with less than you deserve, and you're willing to stand in that, and you're willing to lose them for a while, and it can be years, decades for some. Time will tell you whether they're really that, your yin yang and your twin. Let them go anyway. Doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you love them enough. And you love yourself enough to allow somebody to grow in their own way. You know, you're not doing it for them. Right, what else do you need to know here? Yeah, look, that's so funny. And then someone will come in with proposals, and it's not always proposals of marriage. It can just be like, can I take you on a date? Can I take you for a drink? Can I take you for a coffee? Can you just, like, you know, I'm proposing we have a chat, whatever. It's like, somebody will make the effort. They'll hand out their cup rather than the woman that was handing out the coin. And again, it's not, that wasn't referring to money, I don't feel it. It's, well, it might be for some people, but it's like, it was just giving too much energy, I feel. Love. Yeah, look, look, this, I knew this was energy. I was feeling, this guy or this woman, whatever divine masculine energy is, like, wants to give it all now. Like, this is like totally jumping from, like, again, it's in the collective. I've seen, this is so interesting. This is what's weird right now. I'll see if it happens again. I noticed it with the ones I filmed all a week ago today, as I was releasing them. Some of the really bigger, like, I'm talking massive channels, had picked up the same energy, but they're doing them in real time, you see. So it really does, I mean, not that I need to prove it, but it's like, it really does just prove how much, like, you know, that, like, how much of a seer I am, that I channeled them all a week before. People are, other channelers, true channelers, are picking up on the same energy. But that's why I do like to tune in when I'm guided to people that resonate. And like I said, I jump in and out of resonating with, like, different folk, but I have noticed this is where a current collective of masculines are. It's like 0 to 100. It's like somebody that wanted to give nothing acted like they didn't give a shit in the slightest, or wants to have the ultimate happiness. They've learned a lesson, they've grown, and you have, so we're very, very proud of this divine masculine collective. Yeah, oh, I love it. Did we just end it right here? Again, I'm sure this is how I ended one of the other ones recently. It's like somebody is ready for the ultimate happiness, 10 of cups, just again, the ultimate happiness, love, having everything, completing something. And the sun is the best card in the deck to most people. Happiness. Oh, that's what I said. I just noticed it said happiness. It's like having this is always very twin flamey, because twin flame, it's like it's like playing with your inner child. I mean, it's like you just have so much fun. But I feel it's like, I've really been tuning into this. Some twins get so overwhelmed with how happy your twin makes you. It's like, again, because I can't even put it into words, it's like it's too much, basically, is what I'm saying. It's overwhelming. Yeah. And I think you get to, at a certain point in the twin flame journey, if you connect with that, you get to a certain point where you're like, I don't care that it's overwhelming. It's fucking overwhelming, but I'll find a way to handle it. Like, and that's because you'll have done enough self-love, acceptance, and, well, you just get to a certain point where you're like, I'll just push past the feelings of awkwardness or vulnerability or rawness, or, you just want to dive right in. But usually, that's this fucking sod's law of fucking whatever, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, the yin yang, the twin flame element of it. The other person won't be like that. Like, and that would be the runner. But then the energy balances, because you are, I love that these two cards came out, because you are the same energy, you're going to balance that within yourselves, and you will give and receive that. You'll just balance it, and you'll have fun with it, you'll be happy and playing and fun, and yeah, it's just basically you'll help each other balance out this intensity. Oh, and I just shuffled, but on the bottom of the deck was the Nine of Swords again. So I felt they were saying, because the only other choice is someone's going to stay having sleepless nights, never getting over someone, completely unhappy. And often, the Nine of Swords is someone that's awake at night and anxiety. And now, again, I have been talking for over an hour, but my throat feels like it's closing up. And again, it's like I'm just seeing a vision of someone crying, or at least feeling very down, alone at night, because that's where they can grieve this connection. That's the only option. Stay in that or have the ultimate happiness. And eventually the ones that are meant to will reach this conclusion of, I'm going to do the work to help me be less overwhelmed with this, to help me get to a point where I can propose some kind of offer. It's basically about this person has not felt deserving of this kind of. I mean, that is overwhelming happiness. Do you know what I mean? That's fucking happy as fuck. Do you know what I mean? Don't know about you, but I desire and deserve happy as fuck, twin flame, yin yang love. So, yeah, because look, I think, I've had quite enough of 5 of Cups sadness, thanks very much. Literally got sadness. The sadness is behind us. And it's time for reunion. Right, that's interesting, isn't it? Because 3 of Cups can often be a third party card. But in this case, there ain't no third parties. It's a big massive dolphin. But no, it's reunion. Does not mean third parties. It's time for a soul reunion. So, but remember, reunion can be when you come together with them. So maybe someone's going to propose to meet up. You meet up with them, and then it could be that you don't see them again for a while, because that can be reunion. Or it can be lots of little reunions at your pace. I'm more feeling it's that for most people that are going to connect with this, right? Because it's someone that's went through hell and back. We'll use those cards. And they're ready for this. It's all or nothing. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, this is very, it's all or nothing. I'm very all or nothing. So, like my twin's very all or nothing. Well, actually, again, it's like when I say that, I was about to say, I won't know exactly in the ways he's all or nothing, but he must be in some parts of, he must be. But some it is that anyway, that gets confusing because twins are very different. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, if somebody just didn't want to really connect on a deep level with someone, it wouldn't surprise me that they would go from wanting absolutely nothing to wanting absolutely everything, is what I'm saying. Yeah, look, Ace of Pentacles is offering somebody everything. Or at least something where there was nothing before. Prosperity. Yeah, the tower moments again. Big changes. So there's a big change in someone. A King of Cups, understanding. King of Cups is often the guy that can't articulate his feelings. Because there's too much love there. But they've paused to observe what's going on. It feels like a dark night of soul. They've done their healings. They've broke away from the toxic chains that have held them back. Or you have. They've been stuck in daydreams and decisions. But now they're ready to be the Emperor. That's the Emperor. Look, it's a flame as well. To take the lead and be the leader of your own life, their own life. Right, fuck off. What the hell? Wait a minute, that can't be them. That's interesting. That can't be the Emperor because it's a 3. 33 though. 33 is Jesus, forgiveness, energy. Anyway, I was seeing it as Emperor because they take the lead, but that's interesting. This is Empress. So if I was seeing that as Emperor, this is Empress. That's a divine counterpart couple. But because that is a 3 as well, the other way they're sort of saying it to me is, oh, because actually, right, I really had to think what that was there. That's actually the 3 of Wands. So, yeah, it's like, so whoever this is Divine Masculine, is ready to take the lead and basically do something. It's like having a vision, but doing something about it, planning, taking action, because the next one's the 4 of Wands, is the Union card towards the Divine Feminine. You ready to stop yet? Strengthening bonds. Did come out a bit reversed there, so I feel someone's been very hesitant about how they'd go about this. But someone wants to make an effort to strengthen bonds in the physical. Oh look, and then throat chakra in reverse, but that's why my throat went funny. Like this person does not know how to go about doing this. They feel quite trapped, and oh look, trapped in a box again. Their feelings are hidden, trapped away. Could even be that someone's in a connection still with someone else, so they don't feel like they can speak about this. This is a bit sad the way that download just came in, but well-deserved reward, but I pulled it in reverse. Someone doesn't feel like they did. It's like the devil's like, you don't deserve this ultimate happiness. You deserve to be alone, full moon, and challenges. Interesting. This was said to me at one, but in fact, it's been told to me at several points in my journey. And I suppose depending on where you're at, it would be hard to hear it, but I do agree with it. It's like, just this kind of feeling of accepting that you've went through enough of challenges and feeling alone and sadness and all of that, and that actually the worst is behind you. So I feel somebody else needs to hear that like you don't need to go through this pain anymore. And look, 555. So that'll be interesting whenever we hit the 555 subscribers. So I feel somebody out there needs to hear you've went through enough of the hell and back. You don't need to be alone anymore. And stop listening to the devil. It's time to give and receive in equal measure with someone that will bring about new vitality in your life. I feel the other twins are actually literally going to heal the other person's chakras. You're both going to balance each other's chakras and pull the other one out of their darkest fears. The darkest fears is basically that the twin would leave them. So it's like, I feel whoever, again, I wouldn't really, this is like a personal reading again, but it's like, someone will need to really reassure the other that they're not going to leave them, because they're showing me that film again. That you just get, that film's like many other ones, but the whole point is that she's just used to being abandoned. So she's like, yeah, fuck off, you're going to leave anyway. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to be able to see through that. It's difficult. I mean, I'm laughing because I'm remembering bits of the film, but I'm also like, it's kind of poignant too, because I've had many people, and I'm not even meaning romantically, I can think of many people in my whole entire lifetime that I've been around like that. It must be my Pluto and Scorpio, because I hold that energy. I'm quite a master at spotting when someone's pushing you away when they don't want to be, like, but it's just, oh fuck, that's like the twin flame journey too. It was just that when I channeled that bit, I really resonated with it. You do have to reach this point, especially when it's not even your twin flame, but I had to reach this point where I'm like, I can see that this person's pushing me away from a place of pain, but I love myself enough to walk away from this. Like, I'm not being an emotional punching bag for anybody, because that is what I used to do. Like, and not until not even that recently, to be honest. Like, I learned bigger lessons about that again, even this year. Well, last year, this year. That, yeah, like, that's kind of a yin yang energy. It's like, I can help people through the darkest times in their life, and it'll get to, like, only so far, and they turn on me. Like, and it's not just, that's not a victim mode story. It is literally just the truth. And the people closest around me do know that. But the irony is, even sometimes those people end up being the person that does that. But what's that telling me? I thought that was the hermit. It's not, but it's seeking the truth. It's a lot of clarity has come my way about that needed to happen to me so that I could, because of what I'm here to do for people on this very unique twin flame journey, I have to spend a lot of time alone. And if there's too many people in my energy, even if they're the nicest people ever, things need to be orchestrated so that I can seek the truth really in that hermit mode. Just breathe, but that can bring about a lot of weird feelings, of like, why is this always happening? But again, I look at it differently now. I just get it. So, yeah, like, rebuild, the tower. Look, tower moments, like, it's uncomfortable. But you learn to accept, right, okay, that part in this person in my life, that part that they played is over. It's time to move on. That's me, like, okay, just had that kind of journey with these people. I need to move on now, like Nanny McPhee. What's that? Oh, is that maybe like Lewis flowers? I've never been pulled to them before. Very tiny green and pink, heart chakra colours, or whatever it means to you. This is a fuck this card. So whether this is you, being in tower moments and just basically challenges with folk. And like I said, the irony with me, it's never fucking romantic. No, most of the time. It's fucking helping people with challenges and fucking shit kicking off. And I'm not even talking about profession. Sometimes it is professional, but most of it can be personally. That's where I've come from in my past. Fuck this. Do you know what I mean? I was like, no, I want peace. And it's like, I don't mind helping people with challenges. And, and again, I'm kind of saying it in jest, but I'm being serious too. It's like, when there are people close around me in my life that are going through a hard time, obviously, like, it still happens, I will be guided to it like that. Like, I don't think I put that video out. I channeled about, you know, I bumped into this girl that I saw her about a month ago, and I saw her again the other day. And she's definitely a twin flame. And she was in a situation where it was like, I was definitely using my past self's wisdom about, basically, I was just saying, like, look, I know you like this guy, but I could feel, like on the download, right, I could feel he was dicking her about. I could feel he's seeing other people in that and making out like there's some big issue that why you can't be in a relationship. But I just feel, yeah, I mean, again, it might be wrong, how, you know, how are we ever going to know? But it's like, and I feel whatever I said a month ago triggered her, but I think it gave her the realization that she needed, because then the fact I didn't see her for a month, that's a soul retrieval. And she was asking me what to do, and I was just like, look, I don't know why I'm going into this detail, but anyway, it's anonymous, but it's kind of like, basically the point is, whenever anyone asks me what to do, I'll tell them the same thing. I cannot tell you what to do, but I can listen to you. I mean, that wasn't a therapy session, but again, it's hard to not be a counsellor when you are a counsellor. Do you know what I'm saying? And even before I was a trained counsellor, I was a counsellor. Like, I just always had that energy in me. So whatever I basically said to her, by the time we stopped talking, and this was just very informally, she was like, you know what, I know what it is I need to do. And I swear to God, cross my heart, hope to die, drop down dead. I did not tell that girl what to do. It's just my energy helps reveal the answer to what the person already knows, because I could tell she already knew what she wanted to do. She just doesn't want to risk that this guy is going to be like, oh, fuck you, and then go away with all these different birds. But basically what I'm saying is, he's already doing that. I could feel it. So if somebody's already doing that, you've not got anything to lose but your self-respect if you keep putting up with that. Actually, and I've just realised that's a cheery note to end this on. That is definitely where I got to with on the twin flame journey with mine all those years ago. Was I wasn't in a relationship, therefore I was just like, well, it's okay for him to do what he wants, but that means it's okay for me to do what I want. Yin yang twin flames. But the truth of it was, I didn't want to be sleeping with loads of different people. I just wanted to be with him. Do you know what I mean? And again, not at the bit when I was in the bit of the journey where I was thinking somebody else was my true love. Again, I wasn't calling my twin flame, but I was, you know, again, of that is, oh yeah, and that brings us back to the very, how this began, the false twin flame card. But once I fucking woke up from that and I realised, I still played that game with him for a while. But it's just like, oh yeah, I'm totally cool with this arrangement, because I thought that was the truth. But then it was only when I had different awakening moments in myself. Like, I remember one time somebody saying to me that something had happened, and it wasn't even that they'd kissed or anything, it probably did later, but it was like, you know, it was just that he'd spoke to somebody. And I was just like, that I knew, basically, like, you know, like a friend of it. And I was just kind of like, I was like, right, yeah, all of that didn't sit right with me, because I'm like, all the fucking folk in the world, do you know what I mean? It's, but anyway, yeah, and that helped me realise that I liked him more than I was admitting to myself. And so I've just always had that understanding and patience for all twin flames, but for my own twin flame, that it took me quite a few years to realise who he was to me, even though other people could see it. So the likeliness that that would be the same for him, or admitting it to himself, would be very likely. Teach, there we go, and I was just in teaching counsellor mode. That is the card of the counsellor. That's me. I mean, that looks like it. Is that a man or a woman? No idea. But oh no, she's got boobs. Anyway, we're getting into all kinds of fucking risky territory here, but basically that's me. Sitting, telling the story, holding the rose, the true love, teaching. Look, this is you guys. Like, oh yeah, this is what I'm going through. Oh shit, is this what I'm going to go through? Fuck. But it's like, this is me sharing my lessons, hopefully helping some of you out there about when I've felt like I curl up in a ball, sad and alone. And I'm, oh, now I get it. I'm following my purpose. Because that's the heartbreak card. Sacral chakra upside down. Aye, that's when in that film, the example, when the girl's putting it about a bit and it's not bringing her any joy. control in reverse. You need to let go of control and trust. Oh God, what's this energy? Somebody is letting go of being controlling. They don't really know what they're doing, but they're ready for a new beginning. Again, this guy's guarding his heart, but he's ready for a transformation. He's putting I feel this man had two hands over his heart and was closed off, but now he's opening one hand and he's ready. Sorry, a notification keeps coming up on my phone, so that might mean something for you. He's got the clarity. He's got the clarity that he didn't have before, or she has. Change it where it's relevant. And dreams can come true because of that. It's the end of something. Eclipses bring endings. If you believe it's the end of the pain and the struggle. 69. Believe and succeed. And blossom. And share the love. But that's what I was going to say when I saw that. Dreams are coming true if you let them, and you believe that things can go your way, and that you can blossom with all the lessons that you've learned. But you've got to tell the other person. Because you've been in hermit mode too long. This is what I spoke about as well. I'm the hermit in the tarot, but we all have moments of being in that and needing to come out of it, and I feel this is one twin that's mirrored the other. They've went in, or if you're not, you might still be in this, or you might be yet to go through it, or you're coming out of it. But someone's been in that, and I pulled it in reverse, so it's time to come out of hermit mode and share the love. And come out of, choose your battles, but it's in reverse. 7 of Wands, like the blocks are behind you. The blocks are lifted. Because you've listened to your intuition, and it's time to manifest. 21 again. 21 is the world card, coming full circle, learning lessons, awaiting results. Full moon. I get the feeling that's like someone's listening, a divine masculine is listening to their intuition, or currently in that, and they're making things happen. These are big energies as well. Making things happen, and this is a divine feminine awaiting the results. But it's not like waiting in the sense of hanging around waiting on somebody. It's like, I just get the feeling this person's like, basically it's this feeling of something needs to change and shift in the physical. A new foundation needs to be built, because that's the root chakra. Going with the flow. I just need to change the date. Alright, let's end it with this, because I've been here for ages. What is a message to back up that? Because I feel tired now. I'm channeling the energy of someone's twin flame journey as well. Like, I feel it's the divine feminine just feels tired. I'll call you very soon. Yeah, and this is why they got me to do that again. It's like this person feels tired and ready for change. Please give me another chance, I'm begging you. Right, it's the same, this is what I've channeled, so it's not everyone's, but it's definitely a collective of people that it's like, because the divine feminine has detached, like, really, completely detached from the situation more than ever. The other twin's feeling it big time, and it's not in a kind of way of you're doing it. You can't fake it till you make it. It's genuine. It's someone's basically had enough. That is still staying in a loving place. It's hard to do. Only a true divine feminine could do that. Stay in love. But let it go. I realise now that no other person can replace you. That is definitely encompassing the whole thing. It's also like that film too, because she tries to go, that's the bit that I caught it halfway through that was hilarious. It's honestly, you'll piss yourself. It's so funny, that bit. But yeah, she tries to go back to her old life, getting pissed and shagging and that, and it doesn't work. And she gets herself in even worse trouble than she did before. Let's meet up and tell each other how we feel. Well, again, like I said, this is a union channel, so it can seem a bit too good to be fucking true sometimes, guys, but these are the messages that are coming through. shift or be shifted, spiritual awakening. Twin flame, everything is possible. Yeah, okay. Shift or be shifted, twin flame, twin flame, twin flame, twin flame, twin blah, 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 everywhere. Right, someone's going. I said that this is going to take ages to tidy up, but you're welcome. Someone's having a major spiritual awakening that they need shift to be shifted because again the other one has completely let go, and it lets the other one spring back if it's your true twin flame. Peace out, motherfuckers. I mean that with love. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I was going to film them all today, but this one was so long that I don't know if I'll be doing that, but if I don't film them all today, I'll film the rest tomorrow, I think, because that worked for me. And like I said, if I'm a bit quiet again this week, I did feel I would be back to myself, whatever that means, from like mid-May onwards. I don't know about the live streams. I don't think I'll be back to the live streams for a while, but we'll just see. See you later. Book a session though. You can book a pre-recorded reading if I've had a Zoom with you before, or you can book a Zoom from the info as well. And like I said, welcome to all the newbies and hello to my old #oldies, and I'll see you later.